Hi, this is Jonathan Ulysses. You're watching DJsounds.com. You're in Ibiza. Enjoy the madness. I'm the resident DJ from Space, and I hope to see you there soon.
How are you? Good morning.
I'm fine,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm fantastic. I've got my mother here at the moment and my sister, and yeah, you know, I'm just kind of showing them around this beautiful metropolis called Ibiza.
When did your affair with this lovely lady begin?
The affair started with this lovely lady in about 1989. She was young, she was fresh, and she was green. And she had a lot to teach me. Yeah, so I came back in '91 as a tour guide, and I sort of did the tour guide thing for a bit, and then came back again in '92. By this time I'd sort of discovered little parts of Ibiza, Portanax, Centralia, Bossa, and then when I came back again in '92, I then really discovered Ibiza. I started to DJ in one of the bars here, and I started to really get into the music.
So did you start to have a bit more of appreciation for the house music?
A little bit more appreciation. Yeah. I had to kind of do my apprenticeship as well, and started to, because I wanted to know about music and I wanted to know about its origins, so I started to really collect lots of house music, and try and collect the biggest tunes of 5 years previous to that time, just so I could kind of get to know and understand the history of the music, and where it's coming from, and why a snare was this sound and why a kick was that sound. And then the more I kind of learned, the more I got into it, the more I discovered what a fantastic new tree this was that was growing in front of me, with many different branches, many different styles and different DJs, and it was so much to kind of take in. But I was still into my drum and bass and my reggae and my ragga, so I kind of tried to mix it all together, but that didn't really work. And so it did for a bit when he was playing in certain places, but then after a while I really was like, this has to be my music. And then really from then, let's say from about, I don't know, 93 really, I just started to really concentrate more on house and play house and just give it my all really, and that was the start of my journey.
Most people would know you as a Space resident. When did you start with Space? When did those doors open?
Well,
they're big doors.
They're big doors. They're really big doors. They opened they actually opened in '98. I used to work in, as I say, one of the bars in the area, and the bar that I worked in, across the road, there was another little bar. Well, it's a restaurant really, and the guy that owned the restaurant went to school with Pepe Rosselló. Mm-hmm. So they were really good friends. And I kind of had done a few of the clubs by this stage. I'd done Pasha, I'd done Amnesia and Divino and a lot of the other clubs, but Space was the ultimate goal for me.
Yeah.
And I kind of needed to find a way in there. There was a DJ that was DJing there for a bit called Biko, and he was a friend of mine, and I tried to get in with him that way. And every time I came to the club, I'd always give a CD, make me play, let me play. And the boss at the time, Fritz, was a really nice, cool, reasonable guy. He let me have one particular day where no one had turned up on a Friday, and then they called this guy who owned the restaurant opposite to where I worked. Mm-hmm. And they were like, that DJ that works across the road from your bar, get him on the phone. So they ran across the road, come and got me.
SOS.
It was just so it's just I don't know, Neanderthal in a way, and so I went across the road, got on the phone, I'm like, right, okay, do you want to work at Space tomorrow morning? I was like, yeah, okay, be at the club at 9 o'clock sharp. Okay, went there, It was a Friday morning. There wasn't really many people on the terrace at the time.
Whatever, you were probably oblivious to it anyway.
And I just played and just like, yeah, this is my space. And I just really gave it my all. And out of those 20, 40 people that were in the club, I kept them in there till about 1, 2 o'clock, all dancing on the terrace. And then from there I kind of said, oh, okay, look, give me another date, give me an opening party, and so on. And then I was actually properly employed I kind of did like an opening party, then I did a closing party, and then in '99 is when it really struck for me. You know, I was in London, one of the DJs, Daniel Klein, wasn't going to take up the position for the following year. They called me while I was in London and said, would you like to take up the position where Daniel Klein was? And I was like jumping around my front room in London, somersaulting like, oh my God.
Do you know who I am?
I got a job as back.
Well, Jonathan, Monday's calling. Why Monday's calling? Because everyone's just dead after the weekend.
Everyone's just dead after the weekend. It's all about Monday's calling. It seems to be working fantastically. Like, it's rammed in there, and you can hear the crowd like screaming and whistling and shouting, and that's stuff that you want.
Jonathan.
I'm coming. But then it was the real challenge, you know, because now it's like
keep the residency.
You've got to keep the residency. You're playing with like world famous DJs.
Sure.
And you're playing in one of the world famous clubs. You know, you're working with really professional people, and you know you have to be really professional and give your all every time you step through the doors. So I think that just musically, generally, every year, 2 years, it always moves. It goes back and forward. And then it was like, a year and a half ago, it's all kind of like minimal and stuff. And now it's kind of just gone back to like good old house music, you know.
Stuff you can really
move to. It's not so minimal. It's not too dark. It's not too hard. Don't get me wrong. Those genres are still out there.
Yeah, of course.
You know, those genres are still out there, but they're just out there in different places and in different kind of areas. But for the moment, the music is just kind of like 128. Good bass line driven house music. I'm loving it at the moment. It's fantastic. But you know, the way I sort of do it, I prefer to work in the winter in the studio. I work with lots of different producers, and then I push my music for the summer, you know. So most of the stuff that, for me, it's my kind of life and everything evolves around Ibiza. So for me, I rather push my music for Ibiza, for the Ibiza DJs, for the Ibiza sound. And at the moment, I'm getting really good responses from some of the tracks that I've done, and that's really, really positive for me.